I really need my family to be safe. I need to be safe. I need my child to be safe. And this, what happened this morning is not safety. It's not what I deserve. It's not what any of us deserve.
Look. Now, where did all the Black Lives Matter millions go? That was an article that came out a few days ago by the Times Magazine. And if you've seen my work on TikTok and YouTube, you'll know that I've gone into depth to expose the BLM founders, both in America, Patrisse Cullors, and in the UK, Zara Salim. Patrisse Cullors looted millions from BLM only to spend the money on properties, estates, penthouses, all of the above, both in the United States and in the Caribbean. And in the UK, we had Zara Salim, who was stealing tens of thousands of pounds for Uber, for hair and extensions, for takeaways, splurging the money, just wasting it, holidays, all of the above she was spending the money on. And you had other people that were part of BLM saying, hey, how could you just loot all the funds like that? And now we're in a mess and we have no money for the campaign. She stole every penny. And she has to only pay back £1. I've done a video on that. Make sure you check it out. But today what I'm going to do is something different. I'm going to watch a video of Candace Owens. This came out like 1.5, 2 years ago. And to see what she had to say about the BLM brigade and see if there's any other pieces of information I'm missing. So let's get straight into it.
Well, Amber Heard is not the only person that's running around trying to squeeze out crocodile tears. This next story involves me and Patrisse Cullors. You remember Patrisse Cullors? She is the founder of Black Lives Matter, the movement. It's all about Black lives. Put tons of money, donate money to rinse yourself of white guilt. Well, I've been working on a documentary about Patrisse Cullors. I've been wondering, I've been asking, I've been searching for the answer to this question. Black Lives Matter reported to have raised more than $90 million on the back of George Floyd and other Black people that died at the hands of police, as they say. And no one seems to be able to account for the dollars. So I thought I would like to take a look at this. Patrisse jumped on Instagram as we were recording this, and I was outside of her home. And here is her explaining what took place.
This morning.
First things first, before this continues, you got to rate Candace Owens. Going straight to her home to demand an interview. You've got to rate this kind of bravery, this kind of journalism, this kind of realness. This is more of what we need. Hold people accountable, go straight to them and demand answers. You know, big up Candace Owens.
Morning, I woke up to Candace Owens being outside of my house with a news crew. She was demanding that I come outside. And when I looked at the video recording of what she was asking about, she was actually asking about the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation property. And for some reason, it seems like she thought my house was that. It's unacceptable and it's dangerous that anybody, any stranger, come outside of my house, but it's really unacceptable and dangerous when Candace Owens, another Black woman who is actually working as a part of a
sounds like Patrisse is afraid of Black people. That seems like a little bit of racial profiling, Patrisse. You might want to check that. First and foremost, she's a liar. We know this. It's why I've nicknamed the movement Black Lives Matter. She starts out by saying, I woke up to Candace Owens outside of my house. It was about 10 a.m., Patrisse, you're lazy. And it obviously had no idea she was inside. She contradicts herself when she retells the story. First, she says, Candace demands that I come outside. That never, absolutely never happened. But she's trying to create this imagery of her being afraid and scared and me going, Patrisse Cullors, come outside. But then she immediately jumps and says Candace didn't know where she was at, and she was asking if this was the residence that Black Lives Matter purchased so that Black people could, as she said in the press and Black Lives Matter, have a creative space to create videos. Those two ideas conflict with one another. It is true that I showed up at one of the many $1 million residences that are connected to Black Lives Matter. I had no idea that Patrisse Cullors lived there. I had no idea that she was inside. There were no demands made. There was a security guard that was outside who happened to be white, might be relevant. And I simply asked him if there was anyone available that we could speak to about the purchase of this home. Now, in case you are wondering why I was confused about which mansion or high-end home I was at, I just want to take you through Patrisse Cullors' real estate empire that she's been building in the background of the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, so she spent $3.2 million on high-end homes between 2016 and 2021. At the peak of the movement.
All right, guys, so let's just have a look at this. 2016, she bought a home in Inglewood for $500,000. This isn't even George Floyd times. This is like 4 years pre-George Floyd. $500,000, 510K. In 2018, 590K. 2020, man, we're just talking figures here. 415K. Cullors purchased a $415,000 custom ranch in Conyers, GA, featuring a private airplane hangar. 2021, $1.4 million home. BLM Canada, $6.3 million Victorian mansion in Toronto. 2022, they spent $6 million in donations for a California mansion. It's just insane. Wow. So this was even going on pre and post George Floyd. But even before George Floyd, they were still spending millions. And that's just crazy. You know, a lot of people put money into the foundation. They wanted to advance the cause, or they wanted to advance awareness, the cause. They had different reasons for putting money down, advance maybe victims of certain families, and BLM take the money, siphon off the money, and they are just splurging the money. So this is absolutely horrific, and the victims should absolutely be looking for compensation. Because come on, man, this is just taking the mick, just robbing, stealing in broad daylight.
In 2016, she bought a home in Inglewood, California for $510,000. In 2018, she purchased a $590,000 home in South Los Angeles. In January, she purchased a $415,000 custom ranch in Conyers, Georgia, which features a private airplane hangar. That sounds nice. In 2021, she purchased a $1.4 million home in exclusive Los Angeles neighborhood of Topanga Canyon. That's the one that I was at. In 2022, they spent nearly $6 million. This is the organization directly in their donations to purchase a 6,500 square foot California mansion. And they made the purchase through an intermediary named Dwayne Pascal, who is the financial manager for an LLC owned by Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors and her wife. Speaking of her wife, BLM Canada, in the summer of 2021, purchased a 3-story Victorian mansion in Toronto to turn it into a $10,000 square foot art center and a meeting space. The $6.3 million mansion was bought by M4BJ. In case you're wondering what that is, it's an acronym for a Toronto-based nonprofit set up by Janaya Khan, the wife of Patrisse Cullors. All of this seems a little bit shady. And by the way, that $6 million mansion, that 6,500 square foot one, I should mention that Patrisse recently came out and confessed that she lied. You know, they told us it was for arts and craft and creative activities for the Black Lives Matter community. Well, she came out after I showed up at her place and said, actually, you know what? I lied. And we actually have been using this for some other things, including her son's birthday party, her young son's birthday party. And also they hosted a party to celebrate the inauguration of Joe Biden. I thought she said she was scared for her kids. Who throws a celebration for Joe Biden if you've got any fear regarding children? But none of those facts actually matter to Patrisse. She actually was able to work herself up into what I would describe as a histrionic personality disorder, maybe, and made herself cry on Instagram. Take a look.
Y'all, I really need my family to be safe. I need to be safe. I need my child to be safe. And this, what happened this morning is not safety. It's not what I deserve. It's not what any of us deserve.
Look. This is just crazy. First things first is stop with the crocodile tears, just account for the money. It's very simple. If you're stealing money and siphoning and looting funds, donations, and it's the people's money, it's the public money, then the people have the right to know where the money is being spent. And if the money is being spent on penthouses and properties and birthday centers for your kid and parties for Joe Biden, then you have to face the public court of opinion. And the way things are looking, you are absolutely guilty.
Yeah, I really need my child to be safe. There's an 8-month pregnant woman outside asking politely if she can speak to somebody. And I don't know why I'm still sleeping and my child's not even here, but I hope that you believe these non-tears that are coming down my face. Here's what actually happened when I showed up at her house. Take a look.
Uh-oh, let's go.
I see some cars that were loaded, so there's definitely somebody home. Hello. I was just looking to speak to whoever is at this property because it's listed as the Black Lives Matter property. Sir? Hello? Are you instructed not to speak to anybody? We're not trying to harass you. We'll gladly leave. We're just wondering if we can speak to anybody. Thank you, sir. Have a great day. So the moral of this saga is...
Come on, and that's what Patrisse Cullors is crying about. She literally just went, she didn't even knock. I think she just pressed the bell, or she just pressed the pad, and the guy came. Well, I don't know who he was. Maybe it was just around the property, security, just patrolling. And he just, a simple question, I want to speak to whoever's at this property. She didn't even say Patrisse Cullors. And Patrisse Cullors is there just crying her eyes out, like, insanity.
Is that Patrisse Cullors continues to lie. Black Lives Matter continues to lie. And the reason that she's lying and trying to squeeze out these last victim crocodile tears is because she knows the truth is coming. I've been working on this documentary for months to expose Black Lives Matter. It has frustrated me being a person that has always been telling the truth about what they were doing. Obviously, what looked to me to be a money laundering scheme was not exposed, but it seems finally the world is ready to hear the truth. And they can do so when they watch my documentary, which I'm doing with the Daily Wire. And it is going to get so much worse for this organization when people realize just how fraudulent they've been.
What I can say is Candace Owens is going down as a legend in these times. I'm talking in terms of journalism, for keeping it real, not bowing down to no one, just saying it for what it is. A lot of people, they sugarcoat. Both conservatives and liberals, they can sugarcoat things. They don't want things to come out too rough, too tough. And she's just saying it straight. She's not holding back. So, a lot of respect for Candace Owens. It's a shame that she actually left the Daily Wire, because I would have loved to have seen that documentary. She probably will still release it, probably just on another platform and on her own platform as well. Or however she plans to do it, I'm still going to watch it anyway, and I'm still going to evaluate it, because, Candace Owens don't play when it comes to that journalism and telling the truth. So yeah. But yes, her views are her views, my views are my views. I'm talking in terms of this topic, by the way. So for this topic, absolutely. I don't agree with her on every single point around the board, but for this, I absolutely agree with her. So yeah. Well done, Candace Owens.